Hello and welcome to Spaceriffic Reviews. I'm Kevin T. Rodriguez, film critic of themoviewizard.com.
I'm Marco, Lord of the Marco.
Anyway, today's film is Ponyo, Hayao Miyazaki's 10th film, possibly his last, and the latest to be released theatrically by Walt Disney Pictures. The story is about a girl, well actually a fish, who wants to become a human girl, despite the objections of her wizard father. Ponyo goes to the surface and meets a boy named Sasuke, who takes her in, and at this point she starts looking less like a fish and more like a human.
Like a chicken human.
Yeah, like a chicken human. Actually,
well, it's a good thing I think that we should point out that do you like Japanese animated films?
I like to say I like good animation in general, but yes, I do watch more than most.
I've seen two total.
You've
two
seen
total Japanese animated films.
2 total.
Yeah.
And they were?
One of them was Perfect Blue.
Perfect Blue. Oh, so
I didn't particularly like that.
The Satoshi Kon classic.
I did like the other one I saw was the Miyazaki film Spirited Away, and I did like Spirited Away. How did you feel about the film Ponyo?
I liked it quite a bit, actually. I thought it was very imaginative. It was colorful, like I said. I like how he didn't use any CGI. It was all hand-drawn with watercolors, which makes it look so rich, I should say. I think it's one of the year's best films so far. It's one of the best family films. I think it's going to be a classic if it ever escapes the chains of limited release. I give it 4 stars.
Really?
Really.
Well, alrighty then. As I stated previously, I'm not a fan of Japanese animated films or anime or whatever any of those sort of things you want to say.
Too much.
No, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, no, and like I said, I did enjoy the other one, Spirited Away, but I found it a very strange and weird film. It was very pretty. It was very beautiful in its animation, and I liked the story. But it was just it was borderline batshit insane for trying to figure out how everything worked as an American viewer of the film.
I think you're thinking too much.
As far for Ponyo, though, yeah, for the first part of it, I was very wondering what the hell was going on, where this was going to go. Once it actually got into it, though, I did thoroughly enjoy most of the film.
Yeah,
I have to say that the actual stuff with Ponyo, the little girl, where she turns into a human and she's riding the fish that are made of water.
Yeah,
she's searching down the.
Yeah, the liquid fish. Those were awesome. And whenever I tell people the liquid fish were the best, they always look at me like, what?
It was confusing. It was very weird at first when they had a moment where it attacked him or was trying to get at him, and it was like, okay, that's strange. But yeah, no, the actual animation, the way that they used it, the film was so basic. It was not a complex film.
Yeah,
even if you took something as simple as Lilo and Stitch, where it was like a little girl and her alien, which was a similar sort of thing, that actually still had some sort of message it was pointing at you about family and being together no matter what. This movie did not have a message, and that's a positive thing to it. If it did have a message, it was not overtly important to it.
Well, there was a little bit of a subtle message in there, but it wasn't key to the film, because if you watch it, there was Miyazaki's little environmental
there were some
crisis.
I was worried
that
early
show up
on.
in most of his films.
I was worried.
Present in this one.
Yeah.
But unlike Howl's Moving Castle, which is one of the few movies of his that I thought were overtly political and environmentalist, this one just had the subtext where you could tell there was something there. But otherwise, the storyline was very simple, very cut and dry. Some people are going to say, well, but it's too simple, why 4 stars? Well, you have to keep in mind, it was made for kids, and as a kid's film, it's so much better than most of them.
I actually give it props for being as simple as it is. This is a film that I saw with a 5-year-old, and it's about 5-year-olds.
Yes.
And the 5-year-old I saw was pretending to be Ponyo afterwards and was wondering what the hell the little boy's name in the movie was, because his name was Japanese and she didn't know what it was.
Right.
So she kept asking me, what was the little kid's name? And I was like, I don't honestly remember. I had to look it up. It was Sasuke. So I kept having to tell her that.
Sasuke, that's how they pronounce it in America.
Yeah, so there was and it was a thorough watching an individual who was the target audience for this thing. Watch it, thoroughly enjoy it, and get it. And I was not bored by the film. I didn't think it was stupid. I didn't think that there was a complete lack of meta humors, in jokes about films, anything that DreamWorks would ram down your throat in one of these family films to make it so, see, adults can enjoy it too because this is here. See, this is for you. And it didn't need that. It was still charming despite that. Overall, I'd actually say that I personally did enjoy that more than Spirited Away. I actually, and it was a much simpler made for kids film, but there was enough charming stuff in it and things that were enjoyable to me. Certain scenes in it, the way that they set him up is when Ponyo comes up out of the water and finally catches up with him, and then the mom runs out after and he runs through her legs and goes over to the kid. Yeah. There were certain little things about ham and those things that worked well for adults. Yeah. So it was I found it to be an excellent film.
Yes. Yeah, just wonderful stuff like that. And I know some people are going to say, is this Miyazaki's best film? Probably not, but I don't think it matters too much because you just have to take it within that context.
As far as I know, it is, because I've only seen 2.
Yeah, you've only seen 2, and, you know, he's never going to make another Princess Mononoke again, so that's his one action film. Don't compare it to that. This is a children's film. It's more in line with My Neighbor Totoro. I give it 4 stars. What do you give it?
I give it 4.5 stars. I found it to be one of the best films I saw this year. Overall, I thoroughly enjoyed this film, and I was completely shocked that I did.
On a final note, though, this Coraline and the upcoming Princess and the Frog, I think it's going to be actually difficult for Pixar to win that Best Animated Feature Oscar this year because there's actually some competition.